Yes, so everyone has been asking me, Jenny, would you have another one? Well, if you want to know the answer to that, keep watching. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's me, Jenny here. Now, as you can tell from the very beginning, I'm here to answer the question, Jenny, do you want to have another baby? Well, let me tell you, I'm not going to say no and I'm not going to say yes. I will say in this moment right now, the answer will be no. And I will tell you why. Because of my postpartum story. So I'm not going to filter anything. There's going to be a lot of information. I'll try to be semi-graphic, but you'll just understand why when I talk about it. So I gave birth to Kyler at 8:20 on February 24 in the morning, which I will have a card linked up here. And that's him. He's playing in his crib. Anyway, so I gave birth and pretty much Kyler like tore me. He tore me. I didn't get anything. It was a natural birth. I didn't get cut open. Everything was natural. And I was told, now remember, Kyler is my first child. I was told out of like every single possible way you can give birth, I was told that mine was the easiest because there was no medication involved and it was done naturally and there weren't any special instruments involved to get him out. So let me tell you, for all you women out there have had special instruments or have had C-sections, my heart goes out to you because I feel like my recovery was rough. So I couldn't imagine what you women are going through. So shout outs to you. Let's get to my story. That's Kyler. I gave birth to Kyler February 24 in the morning and he tore me apart. My midwives told me that they had to use up a lot of stitches, or I received a lot of stitches. He ripped me inside and out. I don't know what that means, but I did ask, how many stitches did you put there? And they just said they didn't count. So I'm pretty sure that I had a lot of stitches. Then I was pushing so hard to get Kyler out, I ended up getting hemorrhoids. Let me tell you about hemorrhoids. Like the pain that I was in with Kyler was 4 hours. Hemorrhoids stayed with me for like 2 weeks after I delivered Kyler. I cried whenever I had to sit down because that's how much pain I was in. Okay, gosh. And also I gave birth to Kyler and I had a 5-week long period. Yes, ladies, a period is normally like 7 days or 3 days long, depending on who you are. Well, after you give birth, it's like your body makes up for the 40 weeks you didn't have your period, and it all comes out. It all comes out within 5 weeks. Most of it being at the very beginning when your baby's born. But yeah, 5-week long period. It sucked. Hemorrhoids sucked. Another thing is is the midnight feedings. Oh, the midnight feedings. So when Kyler was first born, he had trouble gaining weight, and it was because I wanted to exclusively breastfeed, but I wasn't able to. So since then I have had to supplement my breast milk with formula. But nonetheless, because he's a newborn and he has no concept of day and night, he woke up whenever he wanted to feed, which was every 3 to 4 hours. Yeah, in the middle of the night for the first 3 months. So If he went to bed at midnight, I got up once in the middle of the night, because the next time he would be waking up would be between 3 and 4. But if he went to bed at like 9 p.m., he would be waking up at 1 in the morning and 5 in the morning. You take all that lack of sleep feeding him, and mind you, after I fed Kyler, I had to keep him upright because Kyler was a spitter. His sphincter was not developed, and he just spat everything up. So we were instructed by our doctor to keep him upright for at least 30 minutes. So after I fed my son in the middle of the night, and then I had to keep him upright, so I had to stay awake while he slept on my shoulder. Then I finally put him down, and I'll get to that in the next, like, in a few minutes or so. Then it also took me a while for me to get to sleep, and by the time I would get to sleep, he would wake up again because it would be time to eat. So imagine that happening for the first 3 months, for the first 90 days. Yeah, it was really rough, which is why I didn't upload any videos, because I was pretty much running on adrenaline. And let's talk about putting Kyler down. So, and I know a lot of parents have trouble with this. Kyler is not a sleeper. He does not like to sleep. He has skipped his sleep from feeding to feeding. So usually, like, we were told by our midwives and by our doctor that you feed your baby till they fall asleep, and then when they wake up, it'll be time to eat again, which should be about between 3 to 4 hours. Well, that's not the case. I fed Kyler, and Kyler would want to play, and he just wouldn't sleep. And by the time he got to sleep, it was into his next feeding, and I had to feed him because he had trouble gaining weight, and we just had to feed him. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not complaining that I have a son, because I have wanted to have a baby for a very long time. What I didn't realize that it was going to be this tough, and I don't think you don't know how tough it is until you're actually in it and experience it, which is what happened, which is the reason why in this moment I don't feel like having another one. Now, and I have told Ender, and I have said to him, if you can guarantee me no hemorrhoids, honestly, you guys, hemorrhoids broke me. It broke me. But if you can guarantee me no hemorrhoids for my second pregnancy, I would consider it. But right now, no. And speaking of hemorrhoids, let's get back to the topic of hemorrhoids. After I gave birth, and well, I went home, the nurse sent me home with a bottle, a squirt bottle, and like, it's a basin. It's an attachment that you have, or that you attach to your toilet bowl. You have to fill it with warm water, and then you put Epsom salts in it, and then you mix it with your hand until your Epsom salts disappear, and then you gotta sit in that. Butt and vagina, I had to sit in it for 15 minutes straight, 3 times a day. It burned. I cried. Okay, I didn't even cry when I was giving birth to Kyler. I cried when I was sitting on the toilet in my sitz bath. The last thing that I didn't realize about being pregnant and what postpartum was like, or the last 2 things, was I'm a very small person. I am 5 feet tall, and when I got pregnant, I was 103 pounds. So I was very skinny, and I was like this. And you know, if you look at me, maybe I still am. It depends who's looking at me. Because I gave birth and I was like huge, my muscles tore. My abdomen muscles tore the bigger I got. And I mean, whose abdomen muscles don't tear when they are pregnant and carrying at a full 40 weeks? So mine tore, and I will say, so Kyler is now 5 months old, and I can tell you, I'm still not healed. I can feel my muscles still healing. Things aren't right when I sneeze. So I can't quite go to the gym yet, although I would love to, and good for the moms who can make it back to the gym. I'm not quite there. I have to get Kyler because he's about to cry. I will be right back. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about, which is very important, and you know, we hear it all the time, was postpartum. Now, I wasn't completely depressed, but I did have my moments, and you know, it's just because my hormones are regulating. I had a really tough time adjusting to motherhood. Don't get me wrong, I had a lot of support, but the tough times, such as the midnight feeding, yeah, it was rough because it was something I had to do on my own. Ender helped me where I could, but I was also breastfeeding, and Kyler really just needed my breast milk. That part, like, you hear about it happening a lot and you don't think it's gonna happen to you, but it actually did happen to me, and I'm not afraid to talk about it, and it's not something that everybody should hold in. You know, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I still do, which is another reason why I don't want to have another baby right now. I feel like I need to get my emotions in check. So yeah, that's those are the reasons why I'm not prepared to have another one right now. And that's about it. So just let me put Kyler down so I can do my outro. I upload videos every Friday, and please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all down below. If you want to catch me on all my social media, it'll be right here. If you want to catch me on my last video, it's right here. And if you want to subscribe, you can click on my face right here. Like I said, I upload videos every Fridays, and I will see you on my next video. Bye-bye.